Hello everyone, I'm Rob Kreml. I'm a product specialist for Windrowers and hay tools with MacDon Industries. We'll cover things like sensor calibration, enabling attachments for certain header types. I'm going to show you a few things to keep in mind to ensure that all the attachments on a header are working properly and that we can set certain features like our one-touch return. So to begin, we access the Windrower's main display by pressing here. We're going to go to the setup screen and finally the header. On the header setup screen, you'll find a list of headers, all the various header types that can be compatible with the Windrower, and simply select the one that you physically have attached. The following screen has cut width, raise lower rates, and attachments, and we're interested in attachments. So here is where you would enable any attachments that you have physically installed. For a draper header, D2 double knife, the options include double draper drive, swath compressor, and hay conditioner. Today we're going to enable our swath compressor. Once we've done that, we can back out of this menu. The next thing we want to ensure following enabling an attachment is to ensure that any sensors related to that attachment are enabled. So we'll go again from our setup menu to Windrower and go to sensors. In here you can see a list of all the sensors in place on the machine, the header, or the attachment. In this case, our swath compressor, which we just enabled, has a sensor disabled. So we will correct that and enable that sensor. On this particular machine, we actually do not have a swath compressor physically installed, which is why we've now received a fault about the swath compressor sensor. Following enabling the attachment and ensuring the sensors have been set up, we'll want to calibrate these sensors. In order to access the calibration screen, we get to the main menu, enter the setup screen for Windrower, and finally calibration. So there are two types of calibrations to perform. One is a position sensor and one is a knife drive. It's a good idea to perform these calibrations each time a header is first attached to the Windrower. We're going to do a position sensor calibration. When we access that screen, a warning comes up saying machine movement is imminent. Ensure that the area is clear before continuing. Before calibrating, header must be engaged. Press the play button to begin calibration. So we got to check our surroundings because the header will move fully through its range of height. The reel will also do the same. And once we've ensured that the area is clear, we engage the header. Once the header is engaged, a play button will appear on the screen and we can begin our calibration. The calibration is a two-stage process. So in stage one range of motion is tested. So for example, the header will raise all the way, the reel will go fully forward and fully down, and the guard angle will fully extend. In addition, there are float sensors being calibrated right now, so we have to wait for their movement to stop as well. It's important to monitor the calibration screen during this step because once stage one is completed, the operator will be asked to initiate stage two. So we're now told stage one of two is completed and we're instructed to press play to continue. So just another check to make sure our surroundings are clear and resume the calibration. So now stage two has been initiated. The opposite range of motion of all of our functions is now being checked. So the header has been fully lowered, the reel raised and retracted, and our guard angle retracted. Continue to monitor the screen, waiting for the next steps. Once the calibration is completed, we'll be told at the top of the screen, should any sensors fail calibration, it's at this point that we would be informed with a red X telling us that the reel fore-aft sensor has failed calibration, for example. We've had a successful calibration of all sensors, so we can press the resume button to exit, and at this time we can disengage the header. And now we've completed our position sensor calibration. I just realized our clock says 4:23 a.m.